In 1996, the US launched a cruise missile attack on Al-Shifa. They did so on the basis that it was a plant for VX, and it was on the back of the East African outrages, and also Sudan had not very long before managed to get rid of Osama bin Laden from within their territory. It later transpired that the Al-Shifa plant was a pharmaceutical plant, and that there was no evidence whatsoever that there was any improper use of chemicals in that plant. The Sudanese still refer to it. On a number of occasions I've been to it. They've offered to show people, including the Americans, what the plant was. They've kept it as rubble. Now, I use that as an example of where things are got wrong. And intelligence is not sacrosanct. Now, I've never been a member of the Intelligence and Security Committee. I'm never likely to be. But it is right for this Parliament to hold the government to account. And there's nothing more important than when it holds the government to account on whether it's right to go to war. Now, it may well be that the Al-Shifa example is about the Americans and their lack of intelligence in this respect. It became known as wag the dog, of course, because, of course, it was more to do with President Clinton trying to offset some of his own problems at home. I can't say what the motive behind the President of the United States at the moment was, but again, there are sometimes ulterior motives why people launch conflict. Now, in our own case, we've got more recently both Afghanistan, where we were told that not a shot would be fired and it would be a straightforward invasion, and of course Libya, where we were told that it would be about regime change, but this would be about evolving. I'm not giving away because we're very short on time now, and it was about evolving a democratic structure. But more particularly, it's about Iraq. Now, I was around in the House at the time of Iraq, and I remember it wasn't about the government at that time willingly giving backbenchers a vote. We dragged it out of the government because there was so much opposition that they had to give a vote. And in a sense, backbenchers created that precedent. It's an important convention. It's important that we as a Parliament have a view. And that's one of the problems, that our constituents at the moment have been emailing us, stopping us in the street, saying, what's your view? Why haven't we heard what Parliament's got to say? And I heard the Right Honourable Gentleman from the Liberal Democrats make that point, and I totally agree with him. It is important that Parliament has a say, and Parliament can get it right, and Parliament can get it wrong. But dare I say, so can governments. And it's right that we exercise our democratic right as representatives elected here. I'm not giving way. Unless War Powers Act, and remember at the moment this is just an SO24, and this would have to go through proper scrutiny, as the Honourable Gentleman over there for North East Somerset made quite clear, it would have to go through all the processes, and he intimated there were other ways of doing this. But I believe very strongly that this debate should be had, because at the moment we are very unclear. The government has changed the convention. It should have come here for a debate, not questions, a debate and a vote. It chose not to do so. So at the moment we have a very unclear situation where we go back to Iraq, where a precedent was created, and now that precedent has been changed. So I merely say it is right and proper we have this debate today, and that we therefore begin to move towards clarity on where we are on what was previously a convention of the House, which no longer exists, and it's about time Parliament had its view and was able to decide on whether that convention is right or wrong.